What's up, people? Good morning. So, look, I got good news and I got bad news. The good news is I'm here. We're doing this. I know last week I kind of skipped out on y'all. I was spending time with family, and so I did not get a chance to shoot an episode of Soul Food Sundays. Although I did bring you the very first episode of Co-Creating. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I've gotten some really great feedback. Um, and if you have not had a chance to check that out, I will put a card on the screen for you to check that out and let me know what you think. Just my just a way for me to share some of the things that have helped me along my spiritual journey and on my day to day, and just put some positive out energy out there, and see what we come up with, see what we co-create, see what we can energetically bring forth. If you're bringing your energy to the table and I'm bringing my energy to the table, I do believe, and science proves that we can bring forth some marvelous fruit. And so, with that being said, let's talk about the bad news. You will not see me shuffle the cards this time. I prayed and I had already started a video. I got about 8 minutes in, and my phone said, no ma'am, you ain't got enough storage. We're going to stop right here. And so I had to go through my phone and delete some things, which I need to do that anyway. I really need to do a detox for my phone and clear out some of this stagnant and old energy that is just sitting in my phone. Screenshots and pictures of people I don't even like no more. Just unnecessary information. But I have already shuffled. We're using the Roomie Oracle deck. Number 11, Sacred Convergence, is what came out. And so I will be reading that message for you guys. We'll discuss that. And also, we have a new moon coming up. So just as a kind of extra added bonus and for more clarification, I'm going to be pulling from the Moonology Oracle cards. The new moon that's coming up is a new moon in Leo, which will be on, I think, Tuesday or Wednesday, on the 18th. Man, my weeks have been so crazy, I can't even keep up with the dates. But it's on the 18th for sure. So if you're familiar with Leo energy is that of royalty. Leo is the king of the jungle. If you know a Leo, you probably know that person to be a very much of a I said what I said type of person. Leos are usually those people who are known for standing in their power and their authority. And so if some emotions or feelings or things of that nature are coming up for you, maybe some things that you need to stand in your authority on, that would be very symbolic of the new moon in Leo energy that is coming in for us in a few days. Also, new moons are great for manifesting, so keep that in mind. If you journal, you might want to journal some things that you want to manifest. Write it down, or just sit down and just kind of do what they call a mental dump, like whatever's on your mind. Just write it down. Then you can go through it and see, what ideas, what thoughts you may need to trash or discard, release, whatever the case, and what things you want to manifest, just to organize your thoughts. New moon energy brings forth a great time to do that, and then at a later date you can always go back and kind of reassess or reflect on what it was or what it is that you wanted to manifest at that time. So like I said, I've already prayed. I already shuffled the Roomie Oracle. Sacred Convergence number 11 is the card that we got. So I'm just going to go straight into reading what Rumi has to say. For those of you who are not familiar with Rumi, Rumi is one of my favorite poets. And I really wasn't as familiar with Rumi. I had seen some of his poetry, read some of his poetry, but not as familiar with his spiritual significance until I started along or became aware of my journey and my evolution. So if you have not already, check out Rumi, the bad guy. Sacred Convergence. Roaming about town, the master was holding a light, saying, I am weary of the demons and the beasts. A human is what I am longing for. The human cannot be found. We have searched. What cannot be found is what I am longing for. Although poor and needy, I will not accept small pieces of ruby. The mine of the finest rubies is what I am longing for. One hand holding a cup of wine, and the other the curls of the beloved. A dance like this is in the middle of the circle, is what I am longing for. That's what I'm talking about, Rumi. Don't settle. You know what you want. Rumi said, I'm weary of the demons and the beasts. I'm looking for a human. That's what I'm longing for. I know the poor and the needy are out there, but honey, don't give me no small rubies. I need the finest of rubies. That's what I'm longing for. I'm holding on to a cup of wine and the curls of the beloved. A dance like this in the middle of the circle is what I'm longing for. That's right, Rumi. We ain't settling. We gonna get what we longing for out here. Whatever your heart's desire is, that's what you create space for. That's what you use your throat chakra to ask for. Don't settle for less. So let's see. How have I longed for you, my very own? Look no further for the family beyond your family, the relationship beyond all other relationships, the great love that unveils all other loves to be mere reflections of the one great and true love is here for you now. It is I who has sought you through the stirrings of your own heart, yet 'twas I, hidden beneath every secret, yearning for something more, something full, something special, something all encompassing. Behind every yearning, always I have hidden. Now I show myself to you, that you may be so filled with the same passionate devotion that I hold for you, that your mind will fall away, overwhelmed by the sheer intensity of love, tossed into an ocean of silent, unending bliss. Come to me. We are to be one now, in sacred convergence of silent, eternal passion. Sacred convergence indicates a coming together of souls in alignment with a greater cause. This greater cause is both personal and impersonal. There's an aspect of joining together for common purpose, although that purpose may not be immediately obvious at a level of day to day consciousness. The common soul purpose may be to lift each other into greater love and self belief, to shed fear and open the heart, filling each individual soul with more holy fire for its personal, passionate purpose. You'll have a sense with this process is happening. There will be a coming together of you with like-minded souls who hail from all walks of life, and yet together, through some invisible genius, you will help each other. You may simply be dancing in the same room or singing in a group, attending a class or workshop, or just visiting the same beach or park land, but at that moment, there will be a sense of something coherent and nourishing happening at a far greater level. The trickle down effect into your personal life will be felt too. You'll have more energy after spending time with these people, even if you don't interact very much on a personal level beyond being in the same space. You'll feel empowered to step forward on your path and love yourself with less conditions. You'll become freer to shed your fears, let go of relationships based in fear and judgment, and open up to those more loving, responsive, and inspiring to continue on your personal journey in increasingly profound ways. This oracle has come to you because you are a part of a greater sacred convergence happening now. Perhaps you've already sensed its progression, or perhaps it will not be obvious to you, but the effect, whether obvious or subtle, will be important to your soul development and divine awakening. You are being asked to drop defenses and barriers towards groups of people that feel good for you. However, those that dampen your spirits or drag you down are to be dispensed with, no matter what games of blame or manipulation they may play to keep you coming back for more. Know that shall not do for your soul growth now. Just step away. Turn towards the connections that feel nourishing to your soul and learn to share yourself without fear. Just be. You do not have to force the planets to spin, nor the great cycles of the soul to happen. All that is required is that you show up for what is offered to you now. Do your part. Take your steps. Dance, sing, and be, and allow the gifts of sacred connection to share your world, for this is the spiritual gift presented to you now. This oracle comes with a special message. Perhaps you've been thinking about shedding lower vibrational connections based in the ego world of power games, sabotage, manipulation, and fear. Yes, God. Perhaps you've already begun this process or even shed so many you're fearing you might have overpruned to be left with nothing and no one. Do not fear, feisty angel of love. Your truth is prevailing. You cannot stay in a vibration of fear if you want to dwell in a vibration of love. Whilst you learn to sustain that vibration within you until it cannot be rattled by any crisis or demand, you are wise to place yourself in more nourishing connections. If you want a plant to grow, why not give it the best soil and conditions in which to do so? Certainly, the plant of love can and will grow in the most inhospitable conditions, but it can be rather more joyful to grow in gentler, more nourishing conditions if possible. This card comes to you with guidance that the possibility for more joyful relationships and growth of love within is in your power. You can choose each day, each moment. Just make a choice. Trust yourself, your discernment, and your intuition, and choose. You do not owe anyone anything. Repeat this law of karma. You only owe love the chance to grow. So let that be your guiding principle now as you release the old and trust that even if your garden of relationships becomes sparse for a while, you've been cutting back unhealthy plants to allow for new life to flourish. It's only a matter of time and for the reason of new life and growth to come again. And so it shall, bringing with it sacred convergence of souls on the path of love. Your soul tribe, your soul family, your new tribe of those journeying upon the path of love. Man, look. I feel like I'm the expert on this. And this card is definitely speaking to me specifically, but as a collective, I hope there's a message in it for you also. It's time out for settling for subpar connection and relationships, superficial connection and relationships with people, especially because of the longevity of the relationship or the nature of the attachment that you have with people. A lot of that, if you got stuff like that going on, all of that is weighing you down, it's holding you back, and we are being called to make room for deeper connections with people, for more fruitful connections, for connections with people that we can co-create with. It's time out to for the fun and games, playing and not taking the work that we are created to do seriously, and who we are connecting with in order to do so. Now, I'm not saying that once you find your soul tribe, your soul family, your community, that it won't be fun. It'll be the most fun you've ever had. However, it's going to require a period of disconnecting from those whom you do not resonate with, those whom are not supportive of your journey ahead. Whatever it is that you are looking to manifest, if you just really take time out to assess the people that you have around you, your support team, do they really support that vision for you? If not, you need to let that go. No hard feelings. It doesn't have to be a knockdown, drag out, blowout fight or anything like that. Just put some distance in between you guys. Because what you will find is that those people could very well be energy vampires. And we are really in a time where we can't afford that. You don't need people that are leeching off of your energy and leaving you drained. You need your energy to do what it is that God has called you to do. And so we just want to be mindful of that as we are moving forward, intentionally creating community in our lives. We want to be mindful of the type of people that we attract, the type of people that we're giving our energy and that we are engaging with, the type of people that we are investing in and with, and we want to be mindful of how they are investing in us. If if you're easily swayed by gossip, somebody you can talk shit with, or sex, if that's what you're led by, people who buy you things, if you have a relationship based on codependency, you want to really release all of those things out of your life. You need to make room for the newness that God is bringing in. We are developing and co-creating a new way of living. And I don't know if any of you are familiar with the concept of being left behind, but if you're stuck in those old connections, if you're stuck in that old mindset, if you're still fostering those types of relationships, you and them gonna be left behind, boo. Straight up. You don't get on board with sacred convergence, the coming together of like-minded people for the glorification of God and all that God encompasses and is trying to do in your life, baby, you're gonna be left behind. I ain't talking about like the left behind going to hell, but you know, there's this story of how the end of times will reveal itself, and that those who have not done their work will be left behind. This is part of your work, getting in alignment, getting on the level of attracting and being in the midst of people who are on your level, people who are where you're trying to be or where you're trying to go, people who are doing the things that you're trying to do. If you know that you're a man or woman of God, what you look like booing up with a stripper? Nothing against the stripper, but y'all not on the same level. Now, that don't mean you shouldn't interact with a stripper, because you may have some words of wisdom or knowledge or encouragement for that stripper. That stripper may very well love the Lord too. But the way in which they choose to show up in the world and exhibit that love for God is different. It's not on the same page as where you are. And so, you know, we just have to have that balance of being relatable and meeting people where they are, and also knowing and identifying our tribe. So I hope that this message found you well. We're going to go a little bit further into it just to see what the Moonology cards have to say in terms of clarifying sacred convergence, because I can go all day. I mean, if you know me personally, you know that I done ran through some people, honey, and I know I'm the common denominator, but I also see God moving in authentic relationships out of my life, and it's not easy. I know the pain that comes with that. You go through a grieving process each time, but I can honestly say it gets a little easier every time, especially when you are trusting that God is removing these people for your greater good. When you trust that God is in the midst of sacred convergence in your life and making room for a different quality of connection with people. So let's see what the Moonology cards have to say in regards to sacred convergence. I want y'all to seriously give this some thought this week. Reassess your relationships with people. If there's no equal give and take, if you guys don't have some common interests, if their strengths don't help reinforce you and help you with your weaknesses, you may want to reconsider that. So the Moonology cards, we got quite a few of them that came out to clarify sacred convergence. One being, nothing will come of this situation. Some of us are in dead-end relationships. We're in situations that nothing is going to come of it. There is no co-creating in that relationship. Or what you are co-creating is nothingness. You want to be in relationships where you are co-creating abundance. So you really want to take some time to assess the input and the output of those people whom you are connecting with, those you are working with. Just reassess your community as a whole, because some of us are in situations where nothing will come of them. Your hard work is paying off. So in that same token, there are some things that you are putting your effort toward, that we are putting our effort toward, that we may not see the reward right now, but it's coming. It's going to pay off. We have to keep the faith. We have to keep rolling our sleeves up and doing what it is that we need to do. We have to keep investing in those relationships that will yield payoff. So keep doing what you're doing. Keep grinding. Remember to rest amidst your grinding. And as we've been talking about, as Sacred Convergence talks about, it's time to release negativity. If you got any negative energy in your life, especially as it relates to others with their energy vamping, let that go. And if it's you, let that go. Release that negative energy. Make room for the positive. Reinforce yourself with some positive energy. There's so many ways to do that. You want to be mindful of the music that you're listening to, the food that you're eating, the people that you are around. Again, because one thing I learned from being in therapy is that you are a reflection of the five closest people to you. And I can honestly say, out of those 5 people I named during that exercise in therapy, I think I only talked to 2 still. So that just goes to show how in my life Sacred Convergence has taken place, because there has been a shift in my relationships, and I am so grateful for it. I had to get rid of all the people who have side-eyed and whispered and just not fully been supportive of my journey, or who have not been genuine. And I hold no hard feelings toward those people, because what I came to realize is if you cannot be genuine with yourself about yourself, you cannot have a genuine relationship with me, because it starts with you. This card here is telling us that nothing is yet set in stone. So there's something that you may be doubting, something that you have written off, someone that you may have written off, and you think it's the end, and it's not, because nothing is set in stone yet. That thing is still manifesting itself. It's still in motion. So hold out hope that there could very well be a positive ending there, or a positive new beginning, because nothing is yet set in stone. And the bottom of this deck, prosperity lies ahead. Keep the faith. Some of us are on the brink of our breakthrough. We just have to hold on. We have to make room for prosperity, because we got some stuff that's collecting dust, just sitting around. Some people that's collecting dust, just sitting around, not bringing us joy and happiness, not bringing us genuine peace and concern, not helping to water our flowers, so to speak. And we just have to be mindful of making room for the prosperity that lies ahead for us, especially as it relates to the quality of having good support around us and community building. And let's see what's at the top. Don't let pride get in your way. Don't let pride get in your way. Don't let your pride keep you from letting these people go. Don't let your pride keep you from stepping into what it is that God has for you. That's that full moon in Leo. Although we're going into a new moon in Leo, the full moon in Leo is telling us not to let our pride get in the way of our sacred convergence and all that God has for us, which includes community, better quality people, alignment with people who are on the same page as us, or even higher. It's not a competition, but if we can be honest, there are some people who are more well versed, who have had more experience, than us that we could benefit from, that we could learn from. So I pray that this week you guys do the work to open yourselves up to that, that you set aside some time to really think about the relationships and people that are around you, and to kind of assess whether or not there is equal give and take and reciprocity in those situations, and that you just make room for the kinds of relationships that God is wanting to bless you with through sacred convergence, so that you may better move forward equipped to do the work that God is calling you to do. And with that being said, I'm going to give me a workout in because I'm getting my fine on. And I pray that you guys have an awesome week. Oh, if anybody's interested in a personal reading, I will be including that information down below. If you have a personal situation that you'd like to look into, I do offer those. And you can email me at turquoisemajesty@gmail.com. But again, I'll be putting that information below. And I pray that you guys have an awesome week. Peace.